Hello and good morning everyone. So today in this particular video we will be discussing about the different type of elements, attributes of elements. And as I said that I will follow W3 school for going through all the particular elements and attributes. So let us begin with the topic now. So uh, First of all, let's start with the introduction. So introduction, as we have already discussed about what is a HTML. So we have discussed about all the different points that is mentioned here. That what is HTML stands for. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. So as it is a language, so it is used for creating the web pages. Okay, and it is used to describe the structure of web page, and it consists of a series of element that I have discussed in the previous video. And then it HTML elements tells browser how to display the content. Yes, it means like how to display the content. So if you will see that in the previous video I used the h1 tag. So h1 tag, and I said this is element. Okay, this is element in the heading tag, and then I use the h2 tag, and again I use this is element. Okay, then you see that how this one is a smaller comparative to this. It is a smaller because of element. We use the h2 tag here and we use the h1 tag here. So browser identifies the element and decide how to display the particular content. uh, as I was using h1, so it shows me with the bigger and bold font comparative to this. HTML element label pieces of content such as this is heading, this is paragraph, this is link. So you will see that as we are using the text inside it, so it is labeled here, and it is being displayed in the particular browser. So this is how actually basic what is HTML, and these are the 5 different points that we have already discussed in the previous video. Now moving forward, uh, now we have a small example that is being mentioned here, so that I will explain it in later because these are all covered in the next sections. uh, then we have what is HTML element, that we have discussed that what is a HTML element. So basically it means like all combined together. It means like when you start a tag name. Okay, it means for example if you see you started a tag name HTML, right, and you ended the tag name that is slash HTML. So you have a start of a tag name here, tag is HTML. Okay, so let's see. First you ignore this. So here HTML is tag. Okay, so you started a tag and you ended a tag, and inside it you have written something like head and slash head. Then this whole thing is a element. Okay, HTML element. Inside that we have head element. Inside that we can have a title element. My title. So these are all elements: HTML element, head element, title element. It means like when a tag name starts and end, and whatever content that is present inside it all together makes it a element. Now moving forward with it, so we can see that here 3 different type of elements is being described. That is h1 element, p stands for paragraph element, b stands for break element. So we can see that element contain, there will be some element contained there, and then we will have a end tag there. So so let's see. So we are starting a body now, and we are ending our body now. So start and end. Now we will again start a h1 here, and we will give a title. This is title. Okay, so this is a heading element. Then we have a paragraph element. So p, again I will say this is paragraph. Para. And then we have a break. Br. Break means it will give you a line break. Like suppose we have this is title. I want to give break after is. So I will just use the break tag, and you can see that there is no element content and no end tag, because this is just for giving a line break, right? So we don't need any content inside it, and we don't need a end tag. It is just for line break. It means like if I want to give a break after is as well, we can just use the break. So we can see that it is giving the break from this as well. Okay, yeah. So now we have a choice of editor. So you can choose any editor for HTML. You can use even your notepad as well. Only thing is you have to save the particular file with .html extension. It means like suppose you are saving your file. You have done with writing HTML code. Now you are saving your file. Just you have to type abc.html. Then it will save the particular file with uh, HTML. It will be a HTML document. Okay, but I suggest you to use VS Code. VS Code is actually a very good VS Code, Visual Studio Code is actually a very good editor, and in this particular editor you will find almost everything. So it means like you can write the code on JavaScript, you can write the code on CSS, you can write the code on HTML, and there is a coloring feature as well. It means like you can see that here actually you can find that there are different colors that is available. So it is used for identifying the elements and all. So I suggest you to use the VS Code as well. It is also a very good editor. So moving forward, and apart from that, it means like if you see, then you can install it based on your operating system. It means like if you are using Mac OS, then you can download it, and if you are using Linux, you can download the dev and RPM version, and if you are using the Windows, then you can install the exe file. So so moving forward now, to after completing the HTML editors, let's move to the basics of HTML document. So basically it means like we have HTML that is being maintained by W3C, okay, World Wide Web Corporation. So what is there that we have a HTML document? So first of all, it is necessary to define the doc type. What is your doc type? So it helps to identify which type of document is there, and what to render. So we have doc type HTML. It means like this will define that this is a HTML page, although it is identified by the type which we are saving. It means like although we are saving it with .html, and .html defines the HTML document, but doc type is necessary. It means like you have to define the doc type. If even if you don't define it, it will work, okay, but as it is a convention, so you have to, all HTML document must start with the document type declaration, that what is the document type. So I have defined the document type here. Now we have the HTML document itself begins with HTML tag, so we will use the HTML tag here. Okay, so this is the second thing. So you can see that I have started and closed the HTML tag. So this also signifies that we are using the HTML document. Then we have all the visible part of HTML document is between body tag. So this, it means like this is the search bar, right? This is the web address bar, and after that everything that you see in a page is a body. So every content of a web page, every content of a web page should be enclosed within a body. So we have body, and then we have body, so something like this way, and all the content goes inside the body now. So we have doc type declaration, and doc type is not the case sensitive, and it means like you can define it in the small or uppercase based on your preferences. Then we have HTML heading. So we have already discussed about the HTML heading, but what we didn't discuss about the HTML heading is that if we are, it is available up to h1 to h6. It means like the tag that is available for heading is from heading 1, h1 to h6. After that it will act as a normal para. Let me show you with an example now. Like suppose I have used this and I am saying h1. Okay, so it is giving me a bold content and it is a heading. So this is another one, subheading. You can see that we can use S3 as well. Then you can see that we can use H4 as well. Then you can see that we can use H5 as well. And then you can see that I can use H6 as well. But after that, if we try to use H7, okay, we can see that H7 is just a normal para. It means like if you use para instead H7, you won't be finding any difference between H7 and P, because by default without tag it will act as a normal para. And if there is no design that is being defined there, so you will see that H7 is acting as a normal para without any design, right? So we have this P and we have this S7. So this is a para because there is no tag with S7 in HTML5. So we have a paragraph. So we have already discussed about the paragraph now. Now we have HTML links. So we have link. So you see that there are different links. You can see that this is a link, this is a link, this all are links, right? And there is a redirection as well. It means like when you click this, these all are links. So when you click it, so you can see that it have redirected to different page, and when you click it, it is redirected to different page. So it means like link is available, right? So how link is defined now? So link is defined by a, only a stands for anchor. Okay, slash a, it means like this is a anchor element, a element. So what will happen, that you have to define the link name. Suppose you want to go to Google, so you have to define the link name, that is Google. Now you will say that why it is not redirecting. So you have to provide the reference URL. So when you provide the reference URL, it means like suppose I am providing it href equals to something. So you can see that now it is clickable. It is clickable, but it is just doing nothing. It is just uh, it means like vanish everything because it has redirected to a blank page. Okay, so it has redirected to a blank page. So what will happen, that you have to define it, that just go to google.com. So just go to google.com. Now when we will click it, I want to click it in new tab, so I will say new tab. You can see that it is redirecting to Google. By default I'm just copying it once, and now what I will do, I will I just copied it, and when we click it, so you can see that actually redirection is not defined in this particular page. So but when we are clicking it, it is redirecting to Google. Now you see that whenever I am clicking this, it is redirecting in the same page. What if I want to open it in a new page? So suppose I click it and it should open in a new tab instead of the same page. So for that, what we need to do is we need to where was we anchor tag, where it was, okay, we were in the basics. Okay, so if we want to move, if we want to open a new tab on clicking, we have to define something like this: target blank. So what will happen that whenever you will click it, it will open in a new tab. You don't have to it means like you don't have to use right click and you don't have to open it, the link in the new tab. It means like it will automatically open it in a new tab. uh, so we have a link tag, and apart from that you can provide the title as well. There is a title tag, I think that it will come later. So you can define the title, go to Google or something, go to Google. So whenever you will bring your cursor near it, so you can see that there is a something that is appearing and it is telling that go to Google. It is mainly used for informative purpose. It means like we mainly use this for the informative purpose. Now moving forward, we have images. Okay, so images, how do we basically use the images? So images is used using img tag. So when we are using img, so just use the img. You can close the img as well, but nothing will go inside it. But nothing will go inside it, and you can use the img tag. But if you are using the image, then there must be some source of that particular image, right? So if there will be some source of the particular image, so let's take some demo image from Google. So we have this particular image. Let me copy the URL from here. uh, so this is base 64 decoded. I want to get the URL actually. Mm, these are all base 64 decoded. Let me inspect if I can get, yeah. So we have this particular image. So you can see that if we have an image, we have to define a source. So when you are defining a source and you are pasting it, you can see that you can find the image here. And the best thing regarding the image is that you can set the height and width within the attribute itself. Let me show you with a particular demo. So we have image tag. You can define the height as 100 and you can define the width as 100. So if you are defining both height and width as 100, you can see that now the image is displayed with 100px format. So you can see that now image is comparatively smaller because we have defined the height and width. So their height and width attribute is available for image tag. So for image tag we have height and width attribute. Okay, now how to view HTML source? So to view HTML source you can either use Control U. So if you will use Control U, you can see the entire source or code used in the particular web page, or else you can right click it and you can use inspect to view the source of particular HTML web page. And apart from that, you can also see the style that is being used. So this is actually the way to view the HTML source. Now moving forward, so this was all actually about this particular page. It means like regarding the HTML basics. So in basics, what you have to know, you have to know that HTML tag is there to I'm just summarizing everything that I have said in HTML basics. So you have to start with HTML tag and you have to end with HTML tag, and then inside it everything you have to write enclosed within a body, because every visible thing that is present inside HTML is a body. And then you can use the heading tag, then you can use different type of heading tag, and we have available h1 to h6 heading tag, and then everything acts as a paragraph. And then we have a paragraph here, you can see. And then we have a link tag, and a link tag have a reference link href, where we define the web page address, that is google.com. We have defined it here google.com, and to open it in a new page we use target blank. And then here we define the text of the anchor tag. And then we have an image. So in image we define the source of the particular image, and this is the source of the particular image. And then we can uh, optionally specify the height and width with the attribute itself of the element. And yeah, and there's one another thing about the image, that suppose for any reason if your internet is down or something issue is there, so it means like your image didn't load it, so you can specify the alternate tag. You can alt tag is used for providing the alternate text if image is not loaded. So I say alt. If this was a profile image, I could have said profile image. Okay, so we have alt as a profile image. Now you see that we cannot find profile image here. But what if I do some mistake? You can see that now we have an alternate text, that is profile image. Because it is not loaded, so it will display the alternate text that is available here. So this was all about the HTML basics. Now moving forward to HTML element, you can see that most of the things that is present here has been specified. Only thing that I didn't mention, that you should never skip the end tag. You will say that okay, we can skip the end tag, and then it means like here we have ended the h1 tag, right? What would have happened if you didn't? It means like if you didn't end this particular h1 tag. So suppose I didn't end this h1 tag, and instead I used a different thing. It means like I use para here, para, and I would have said name. So you can see that it is coming bold here, right? You can see that it is same as h1. So it is same as h1, but we didn't expected that. We expected some paragraph here instead. So why it is coming as h1? Because you didn't close it, so it is acting something similar to this. Okay, so you didn't close it, so it is acting something similar to a paragraph. But if you would have closed the same, it means like if instead you would have closed the h1, you can see now name is acting as a paragraph here. Okay, so this is only new thing about the element that I can find. Otherwise it means like we do not have anything else that is present here. So we have empty HTML element. So we have empty HTML element is some element that doesn't need a break tag. So we have already discussed about it, that there are some elements that doesn't need actually closing it. So it means like suppose we have name there. So we have name there in the same line, but we want to break the particular line. So if we are using break, so we can see that name and there. Now there is a new line and name is there. So it means like some HTML element uh, doesn't require closing tag. Why should it? Because it the only purpose of break tag is to just it means like display something in the new line. Okay, so just give it means like you use enter, right? It means like when you are typing something you use enter to come to new line in a HTML editor. So it is acting something similar to that. HTML is not case sensitive. So of course HTML is not case sensitive. Like suppose we have small body, so if you will use the capital body, it will be same because it is not a case sensitive thing. But as W3C, W3C guidelines is there that you have to use the small tag name. You have to use the small tag name. They have suggested that you have to use the small tag name for your coding and everything. At W3 schools, and so we always use lower case tag names. Now HTML tag references, you can visit these for HTML tag references as well. Now let's cover the attributes. So attribute is something that defines the element, you can say. uh, what does that mean? That you can customize your element using attribute. For example, let I hope that you have already understood these all things. Now let's if you don't have if you didn't understood any of these, then you can just comment it and I will go through the comment and I will let you know about everything. Now moving forward, here is the paragraph. I'm removing a break tag now from here. So you can see that we have name there. Now I want a different font size for this. I want slight greater. I want it to be a red color as I have shown in the demo in the previous video. So we can use the attribute style attribute, and we can specify the different things like font size of like 20 px or something. So we can see now it is greater than previous one, and, and then we can specify the color as something say red. Then we can see that it is displaying the red color. So this style is the attribute, and these all are the values of this particular attribute. So we can say that attribute defines the particular element. Okay, so we can use these all things in the css as well. We can write this in the css that I will cover in the future video. uh, but this is actually meant for defining the element. This is mainly meant for it means like customizing the element that is present. And apart from that, we have also a title as an attribute. So we can use title. We can say red color title. Now when we will hover this, we can see that we have red color title displaying here. So why this is used? Actually what happened that sometimes we have a password field, right? And there is some special characters and there is some defined characters that should be present within a password. It means like a password should contain a special character, a password should contain a password should contains a number or a capital character and a special character and all. So you can define it here. It means like you can say that the name here there is a password, and then you can define it that password should contain something. Password should contain number, only this much. So if somebody is not clear that what should I enter in the password, so when they will visit here, then you can show them this particular information that okay, password should contain a number, then you can specify the number there. Yeah, so this is about the attribute. So attribute is basically something that is meant for defining the particular element. Now let us discuss about one very important element that is so much useful that it is used everywhere. It is used in every pages, and their actually attribute holds a very much importance, not just for displaying the particular text content or something. So we will discuss about the input tag in the next video. So we will discuss about the input tag in the next video. Why actually I am keeping it in the next video? Because actually there is a lot of thing. It means like, and there is a lot about attributes that is present within the input tag. So we will discuss this in the next video. Like for instance, I just want to show you a demo on input tag. Like for creating an input, you use input. Okay, you use input and you closed it. You cannot write something in this way, that input and then you can say name and then slash input, so it holds no meaning at all. Okay, so it should be something like this way. Now you have input. Now you can see that there is a input. Now you see that what are the different type of attributes that is present within the input. So first of all, I will show you that you can specify the type. So type means what type it will take. It will take text. So if you're typing text, then you can just type text inside it. If you are typing password as the type, then not why pass p a double s input type. Oh, so I just given tpe. Okay, typ. So we have password, so you can see that nothing is visible. So type password, password should be hidden, right? So everything is been encoded with star. So now we have text, so you can see that everything you will write inside it will be visible. Then we have input type text, input type password, then we have input type as number. So when you will try to insert any letter out there, then it will display nothing. So you have to just only use the number, and instead you can use 8, 9, 10, everything you can use that is number, but you cannot use English alphabets. So when you are trying to type something, it is not displaying anything. So we will discuss in more details about input. We will discuss about forms, and we will discuss about the form, and we will discuss about input. We will discuss about button. So there is an input type button as well. So if you are using input type button, then you have to specify the value. So value that is equals to click. So it will be a text that will display within the button, so you can click it. So then we have already discussed about width and height attribute. We have already discussed about the alt attribute. We have already discussed about the style attribute. Then there is a lang attribute. This is just basically, although it is should, but most of us actually skip it. We should specify language of this particular HTML page that is being used. This is basically helpful for search engine, Google search engine. So it means like if we are using the French text, then sometimes what happen that if we don't specify it, it will consider it by default as English, I think. And then if we specify the lang attribute there, then what will happen that whatever we will type inside it, it will be, it means like whatever we will uh, whatever language that we will use, based on that it will display for the particular country or something. So it is used for search engine. So you can use the language code, and for language code you can go to Google and you can search language code list. So you can see that you have a language code list here, language code table is there. So you can see that we have a different language code here, and apart from that you have to also specify the country as well, country code. It means like you can specify en-us. So what does en-us mean? So you just copy it, you just paste it, so you can say that it is an English of United States. If you're using English of South Africa, then you can just specify the language en-za. It means like country code and the language. This is the format basically. So yeah, and then we have already discussed about the title attribute, and here is a suggestion that always use lower attributes, lowercase attributes. So we should always use the lowercase attribute, and always quote attribute value. Yes, because see, suppose if for example if we are using a paragraph here, and inside that we are using the title, and title, if it is a single line title, suppose name, and we are specifying name slash p, so it is a single line title, then we don't need to use the code, for example. So you can see that name is being displayed. But what if it was multiple line attribute? Name the title. Okay, so you can see that it is just displaying name only. It is not displaying name the title, because we should have to enclose it within the tag in order to display it. So if we are moving here, we can see that name the title is available now. Okay, so it is suggested that whether it is a single line or a single letter or a multiple letter, sorry, single words or multiple words title, you should use the double quote instead. It means like even if it was a single line, then it is suggested that use the double quote to display the particular text, okay, title. So then we have single and double quote. It means like, yeah, so why, how should I use the single and double quote? Suppose you have to use something that was included within the single quote inside name. So name them. Now when you will hover here, you can see that here is the single quote that is available with them. And what if you have to use the double quote here? Then for example, let us suppose that you are using the double quote here, then it will automatically give you a wrong syntax. So now when you will hover here, you can see only name. So what is being suggested, that if you have to use the double quote inside the title, then just use single quote outside, something like this. So you will see that whenever we are hovering over it, then we can see that we have name and double quote them. Okay, so here actually it is a chapter summary. So it means like we have discussed on something, that what is a link, what is a image, how to import the source within a particular image, how to, it means like what is a input tag, and we will discuss more about input tag in the next video or next to next video. We will see that how much we can cover in the next video, and based on that, it means like we can discuss about the input tag in the next video. And apart from that, it means like we have also seen different type of different types of input that is available, and then we have also discussed about HTML body, different type of headings, paragraph, break tag. So that's it actually for this particular video. uh, all I think that it has already gone to like 37, 33, 37 minutes. So we will cover next of the next things in the we will cover about the heading paragraphs in the next video. So see you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much.